Hey guys, how's it going? So one of the biggest issues in cold email and outbound is you have a campaign that's working, but you don't have enough leads to contact. And in this video, I show you exactly how you solve this problem. So a lot of people they just rely on Apollo leads for their outbound campaigns. And in this video, I show you step by step how to scrape Google searches, find companies, and then find people at these companies. Because when you think about it, where's every company listed in the world? It's on Google. And therefore, scraping Google must be the most powerful lead source to build lead lists and then reach out to them, to those leads. So this is what this workflow is doing basically. We have a list of keywords. We search these keywords and open the listings. This way, we build a list of companies. Now we have a list of companies. Now we want to find people at these companies, and at the end of the day, find their verified work email. And yeah, I walk in this video through the exact step-by-step setup of this workflow, so you can implement it for your outreach. So let's get started. Step one is building a list of keywords for our relevant target. What I do here is I just go into Claude or ChatGPT. Let's go into Claude. I like Claude a little bit more for this stuff. All right. So, and what I tell Claude here is just give me a list of keywords separated by comma. And let's, for this test, do this as an example for software companies. So I tell Claude, hey, can you give me a list of keywords separated by comma for a Google search for software companies? So I want you to give a list of around 1,000 keywords for software companies. So marketing, sales software, all kinds of different B2B software separated by comma. So that was not an ideal prompt, but it will do the job. Perfect. Now it gives us this list of keywords, and this is basically the Google search we do at the end. We search for CRM software, and then we open the first 20 results for the search, and these are companies selling CRMs, right? And we do this for all these different keywords. Let's just stop here so it's not too many. So we do this for all these keywords, and this way build a list of companies. So I take this. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh my God. So I take this. Let's just go until here. Fuck, why is this not working? Okay, I'm stupid. And what I do is I just go in a sheet so I can export this as a CSV. Right now I converted the text file basically into a CSV, and now we can import it into Clay. So open a new Clay workbook, new table, and then we just move this in here, the list of keywords, and then we select this keyword here, save and don't run. And now we have a list of keywords. Perfect. We can delete this empty one here. We don't need it. And now you see a list of all these keywords. As the next step, now we want to scrape the search, right? So we add Apify here. So Apify is our go-to scraper. And then you go to add an action, run Apify actor. Then you need to add your Apify account here. So add an account, and you need to add your API key. We want the SERP scraper. So it's this one here, or you can check this is the Apify actor ID. So you can just copy paste this ID here. And now we want to need to add the input. So what to scrape. And what we do is we add this JSON object basically, which is keyword. And then as a keyword, we add the keyword. And the other ones is number of results. Let me check this real quick. So we go here. Yeah, that's the JSON object. Limit. Okay, it's called limit. We do limit 10. You can do more. You can do as many as you want, just for this example. And then what we're gonna do is let's run this for 10 rows. And now we have the results. And let's look at the results for a second. So we get 2 objects here. Each object contains 10 results, as you can see. So in this case, only 9. And then each result is a listing. So it's like same as you would type in this keyword here, CRM software. And then it opens the first 10 results for us. But now we have it in this table, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and these are all the search results. And what we're gonna do now is those search results are companies, right? So we write them to a next table, which is called companies. So naming convention here would be this is the raw keyword list. And then we create a new one, which is the company level. Okay, perfect. And then what we're going to do is we want to send those results here into the company level list. So add enrichment, and then the action is called write to other table. And then we select a list here, which will be the company level. And then we want to select a list of items we want to send over. And we go in here, then go on results, and then press here, and then here, these 10 results we want to send. So the first 2 results are basically page 1 and 2, each containing 10 items. And then the next one is inside this page, we have the 10 results, which is this. And we press insert all 10 items. And now we can select what we want to send over. So we want to send over the URL. We need to create a new column because it doesn't exist yet. Then we want to select the title, new column, and the description. Why not? Let's add the description too. And then let's run this for, sorry, let's run this for 10 rows. And as you can see, they get populated here. And now what we want to do, will have a lot of duplicates in here. We will have a lot of duplicates in here just because similar keywords, similar search results. So as you can see, we have Salesforce here and then probably somewhere else. What we're going to do is activate deduplication. So all of the dupe rows, but as you can see, we have a problem because those are all different. They are different sub pages. So what we need to do first is normalize the URL. So we add an action, normalize. Normalize the domain. Then we select the URL, which is the URL, and then we want to have the isolated domain. So this is the outcome. So this turns into that. Add field, and then we want to have the normalized one. And let's run this for all rows. And now what we can do is we can deduplicate the normalized URL. All of the duped rows, and then normalized URL. Let's run this. Refresh, see if it's dedoing. Okay, maybe we don't have any duplicates in here. Cool. As you can see here, we have this list of companies. And one thing you notice, these are big companies. So the problem here is on the first page of Google, obviously the big companies are there. So what we want to do is maybe include more results or more niche keywords, which also works pretty well. But just for this test, now we have a list of CRMs in here. And some other companies. And then next step, we have two options here. One, we can use the find people search for Clay, or we can use a Clay prompt, a Clay agent that searches for people at those companies. And it really depends on the use case. So for this case, most likely the Clay database is sufficient. If we have a list of gyms, for example, or more local companies, I would go with the Clayagent because it can do two things. One, it can go on LinkedIn for us, look if they are on LinkedIn, and if they're not on LinkedIn, they can go on. It can go on a website and then find these people on the website, which is really powerful. Here you have to think, okay, are they on LinkedIn? Are they most likely on LinkedIn, or is a huge percentage not on LinkedIn? If they're not on LinkedIn, then go with the Clayagent. If they are on LinkedIn, then go with the find people search. In this case, they're most likely on LinkedIn, so we take the find people search. So we go on actions, and then find people at these companies. And then this basically searches into the database of Clay and finds these people. Let's check. I think we need to select the normalized URL. All right, so yeah, basically the normalized URL is checked, and as you can see, we have 740,000 people just at those companies. Those are big companies, and let's say you can basically set up the search here. Let's say we just want the CEO of the company. So let's include the job title CEO. That's it. And now let's get smaller. We have the CEO. Obviously, depending on your use case, different job titles, and so on, we can filter this down. One thing to note here, and I mentioned it before, is okay, these are big companies. In many cases, we want to filter them out, and there are options to filter them out. We can, for example, set up a formula to exclude those big company names. That's one option. Okay, so let's import those people to a new table. And then we have this find people table. Amazing. Now we want to find their work email. So what we do is add enrichment, and then you type in email waterfall. And then you have this work email waterfall. And what we want to do is we configure it a bit different than they do, just because I don't like all the providers in here. So I want LeadMagic and ICPs first, and then maybe use a third one like Prospeo, and then I can delete the other ones. So I have my API keys in here for those two. If you more on a budget, just get ICPs. It's just $40 per month, and then use it as the first one, and then use your Clay credits for the other ones. That would be my recommendation. Then we want to delete this validation. We just validate the email afterwards, and then let's run 10. And now it finds the work email for us using this waterfall. In this case, you can see ICP couldn't find it, so LeadMagic will try it. And if LeadMagic couldn't find it, Prospeo will try it. Then we validate the email using LeadMagic. Here we go, validate email. Auto selects the work email, and then let's run this for 10 emails. Obviously, they all invalid. That makes sense for those big companies. What I like to do is now have a second provider to validate the email, just in case LeadMagic says it's invalid. It's actually valid. So let's check this. I use ICPs for that. Verify email, and it's pretty cost effective with Clay credits actually. So it's pretty good. And here we want to have a condition only if this status is invalid. Let it run. So only if status is equal to invalid. All right, let's run the first 10 records, and then status is found. And then it runs only for those that were invalid. Perfect. And now what I want to do is have one column that outputs the valid work email. And I use a formula for this. So what I say is output the work email if, and let's see if this says it's valid, if status is equal to valid, or if the other one said it's valid, is equal to found, because it outputs found if the email is valid. Let's generate this formula, and then it outputs the email or false, but I don't want it to output false, so let's say else output this. That's just like a empty column then. Yeah, perfect. Now we have this list of emails. For whatever reason, the formula didn't work 100%. So let's fix this. Okay, now it's working. It's just bugging a little bit. And now we have the list of all the valid emails. From here, you can send this directly into your sequencer. You can run more enrichments, whatever you need. Sorry, I got a little cold. Yeah, that's it basically. So to sum this up, build a list of keywords for the type of companies you want to scrape. Run the surface scraper. Write them to other table. So now we have the company list. Normalize the domain name so we can work with the domain. Deduplicate the domain. From here, find people at those companies, either using the built-in find people search or using a Clade agent. And I can show this in another video, how to do this, because it's super, super powerful. Then send those people into the other table. Now we have a list of people here. We can find the work email. We validate the work email, and here we have the work email. You can go even further, find the phone numbers, run some personalization enrichments, normalize the company name, all these things, and then send them into our sequencing tool, email, LinkedIn outreach, or phone outreach, whatever is needed. And yeah, if you like this video, would be really happy about a like. So I do this videos for free, so that's the only price is a like and a sub. So yeah, would appreciate that. And have a great day, and see you in the next video.